From Ashes, Chapter 18. 3 years earlier. There had been one other first date, about a year after Rachel's death. A night I tried not to think about. She'd been good looking, I'd give her that. This first and only other date, this woman who'd said her name was Audrey, though I later learned that it was Mary. Audrey hadn't even been a middle name, just a piece of fantasy, much like the idea that we would have ever worked out. I wouldn't have started with the buxom new secretary except that a couple of the IT guys were pushing me, and sure, it'd been a year. I didn't know what I had to lose. A night of my life and over $400, nearly 2 days' salary, that's what I had to lose. I took her to a hotel in downtown Louisville for dinner. It was something I'd never done with Rachel, and that's what attracted me to the idea. The thought of going anywhere I'd been with my wife, any of the sweet little haunts or dull little normalcies, horrified me. So we wound up in a velvety bar ordering drinks. I got a beer, 4 times as expensive as it would have been anywhere else. She started with a cocktail, a dark pink at the bottom that ascended into a cotton candy and completed its journey in a gentle, slushy blush, which was topped with whipped cream and pink sprinkles. I don't know why it fascinated me so much, these children's delicacies on top of a woman's grown up adult beverage. But I couldn't stop looking at those sprinkles. She pounded through the drink in about 5 minutes, ate the sprinkles and cream with a spoon, and ordered another. Nerves, maybe. I tried to give her that. She wanted to relax. I did too. It'd been a long week at work, and she was the new girl. It couldn't have been easy, though. I wasn't sure there was 3 cocktails in the first hour hard. Her laughter cranked higher each time the drink sank to the bottom, and I looked at the bartender, desperate for a way to stop the insanity. I'd still only had a few sips of my beer. I pushed the rest away and led my date, already thoroughly tipsy, to a table for two where she ordered a bottle of wine and shrimp hors d'oeuvres. I asked for extra bread, not caring if it made me look like a hillbilly. I was hoping that if she got some food in her system, it might slow her down. So, I opened, trying to continue our conversation from the bar. How are you liking the job? It's my fourth in 9 months, she gushed, leaning forward. She'd chosen a tight cherry red dress that I had to admit hugged beautifully in all the right places, but I found myself looking away, over to the waiter, then back into her eyes, hoping to find something there that didn't feel like glass. Wow, I said, looking for the right thing, I guess. She took another gulp of wine. Temp jobs, she said. I keep bumping up against harassment cases. I definitely looked away now, though she didn't seem to notice. Oh, not like you, she said. This is nice, so nice. She smiled, her teeth a little stained from the wine, though I could tell they were beautiful, that she was beautiful. On the outside, anyway. Maybe even on the inside, too. I didn't know, because all that beauty was starting to blur into a night I just wanted to escape. I'm sorry that's happened to you, I said, tightening my tie, buttoning my jacket. She shrugged. Par for the course, women in the workplace and all. I pulled my eyebrows together. She was talking like it was 1962. I thought about Jessie, about Katie, about Rachel and her dental practice. I pushed the last thought away. Audrey popped another shrimp into her mouth. And what is it you want to do? I asked. For a job, if you could, I gestured at nothing, not knowing how to end the sentence. Get away from the harassment. I always wanted to run my own yoga studio, to be honest, she said. Think I'm too curvy for it, though. She ran both hands down the sides of her tight dress. No, you'd be great at it. Probably wouldn't, she said, giggling. I don't even do yoga. I didn't know what to say, couldn't tell if it was a joke, if I was the joke. Something was the joke, but I wasn't getting it. I made desperate eyes at the waiter, hoping he would hurry the food along and end this night for me as quickly as possible. He wasn't quick enough. She'd ordered a second bottle of wine and regaled me with dozens of stories of other dates before I managed to plow my way through half my entree. My own wine glass sat almost untouched. As she finished the last few drops of her wine, she looked at my full glass, looked at it like she wanted to scoot it to her side of the table. I waved for the check, something I'd never done in my life. The waiter brought it, and my breath caught at all the numbers on that slim piece of paper. Neat rows of too much money. But it was okay. Within an hour, I'd be home tucking Gabby in. Then I could forget all about this night. Walking to the lobby, I helped her into her coat, or tried to. Her high heels slipped on one of the tiles, and she stumbled, grabbing onto the edge of a counter, where a blue and gold vase toppled and then crashed, hundreds of porcelain splinters screaming through the quiet room. A maitre d' or someone rushed over to help. She righted herself, coat still only half on, and then swore at him. He stepped back, straightened his own coat. Ma'am, if you would please lower your voice. And then she yelled. Something about how dumb it was to keep precious things in the lobby of a nice hotel like this. I don't know. The whole thing blurred together into a white flash that I blocked somehow. We were asked by someone at some point to leave. I gave them my credit card at some point for the vase, which I really hoped was a Hobby Lobby special. I ushered her out and she gestured at me, saying something about her boyfriend. Then a moment when I realized she meant me. The valet brought out her car first, but I couldn't possibly let her drive it home. Ugh, I said to the valet, can you take it back, park it for the night? She's not really. She vomited on the curb like she'd been waiting for the queue all night. The valet stepped back. It will be $40 a night, he said. I'll pay for the first night, I said, reaching into my coat for my wallet. No credit card this time. I was grateful my dad had told me to always bring a little cash on a first date. I handed the valet two 20s. She could come get it, or they could impound the car, but I wouldn't be charged again. They brought my car out shortly after, as Audrey was trying to reapply her lipstick, something she did surprisingly well considering how much she swayed on her feet. You know, I said, looking at my car, which had been freshly washed for the night, let me get you an Uber or something. I opened up on the app on my phone. What's your address? She slurred out an answer, and I looked at the valet, who simply raised both eyebrows. She handed me her purse, and I popped it open, looking for a driver's license or checkbook. Strike and strike. She had neither, just a tube of lipstick, a bit of perfume, some birth control pills, and a bottle of prescription of Topamax for migraines, which is where I found her real name, Mary Steele, and the address where I sent her once the Uber arrived. When I finally got home, I asked Kate to stay the night. Why? She asked, picking up her keys like she was going to ignore me. I want an alibi in case that woman brings up any harassment charges at work. I want someone to be able to say I was home when I was home. I already asked for the valet at the hotel to vouch for me there. Kate plopped her hands onto her hips. Surely it wasn't that bad. Surely it was. She looked at my tight noose of a tie, my jacket button, my shoes with just a touch of vomit on one toe, set her keys and phone down. I miss Rachel, she said then, and pulled me, her little brother who towered over her, in for a hug. I didn't cry.